Enemy cruisers sunk.
Hello, Fresh Potato, back with another video. Happy Christmas update day, right? Most of you guys are enjoying the new update, but hey, we're gonna go through my favorite part of these updates, and that's the nerfs and buffs. We're gonna start a new series here, I hope, and I'm gonna try to do this every upgrade, right? Or update. Okay, we're gonna go through the nerfs and buffs one by one. And take a look at the ships, right? Starting with the Druid, right? The Druid is getting a big time buff. It is the destroyer that's known for overpenning destroyers, right? But the thing is, all you have is AP. You don't have an HE option, so it can't be doing that. So the buff is main battery AP shell fuse threshold decrease from 21 to 12 millimeters. I think that's not a buff. That's a nerf, but a buff at the same time, I guess. Also, main battery gun HP increase from 4,000 to 6,000. So yeah, much needed buff or nerf, I think the Druid needs, right? Since it costs that much steel. Next, we have the Ibuki. As you can see, I don't have the Ibuki, but hey, it doesn't matter. The Ibuki is, of course, getting a buff. The main battery gun reload time reduced from 13 to 12 seconds. Yeah, that's a massive buff. Okay, it's reduced by 1 second, but yeah, I guess. The Iwami and Iwami B is getting a buff. As you can see, I have the poor man's version of the Iwami B, of course, but it's getting a much needed buff in my opinion. Main battery AP shell maximum damage increase from 12,750 to 13,600. Torpedo speed also increased from 67 to 70 knots. So yeah, that's a pretty good buff, much needed buff. I love when my battleships get buffs, right? I love when they get buffs. The Sejong, one of those ships you wonder, why does it need a buff, right? Why does this thing need a buff? I just unlocked this thing maybe a week ago, and literally my first game was 175,000 damage. I didn't want to record it because I'm like, yeah, it's the Sejong. That's what it does, right? But the Sejong getting a massive buff, right? Especially to its detectability. Detectability range by sea will be reduced from 12 knots to 11.68 not knots, sorry. Let's start over. 12.05 kilometers to 11.68 kilometers, right? That is going to make this thing invisible, right? You might as well, this is like a destroyer, but you know, they are called what, destroyer cruisers or something like that, you know, because they play like destroyers, so it only makes sense. It's also getting a bunch of buffs to its armor, right? To the superstructure, the casemate, the stern, all of it is getting a buff. So this thing is going to be pretty tough, just by a little bit. It's going to get a little stronger to take this thing out, or get a little harder to knock this thing out of games. Combined with its smoke and now its increase in detectability, right? So it's invisible and it's hard to take out, right? So this is going to get even more dangerous. Sejong, a very fun ship to play. If you don't have it, I suggest this is one of the lines you might want to grind, right? From the Chum Fun, the Harbin, all the way to the Sejong, pretty fun ships. Next, we have the Z44 finally getting a very much needed buff. It took what, over a year? Wargaming. How long does it take for your so-called data to tell you that most of these ships need nerfs and buffs, right? This one needed a buff since the day it came out, but finally it's getting a minor buff, right? Z44 will be getting a buff to the main battery reload time, reduced from 4.2 seconds to 4 seconds. Wow, that is a great buff. Wow, that's a significant buff, right? Wow, thanks Wargaming. Next, you're gonna have main battery HE shell maximum damage increase from 15 1,500 to 1,550. So yeah, by 50. Yeah, yeah. Let's move on. Next, we have the Constellation and Constellation W. This is a pretty good ship if you know how to use it. The armor isn't all that great. This is what, the Lexington with guns, right? So if you know how to play this ship, you will do fine. But Wargaming feels like they have to buff the reload time. Nothing too serious. It's going from 27 seconds to 25 seconds. So yeah, we'll see, especially if you can combine this ship with AL Colorado and yeah, and that BA commander. Yeah, this thing should be even more nasty as far as the reload. So yeah, this should be fun to play. Next, we have the Gascogne. The Gascogne, I just unlocked it a week ago. Not even a week ago, but I like it. And I can see the potential in this ship, right? The what is that? Champagne, it overpins a lot, right? But the Gascogne, if it can land the hits, this thing will be nasty. So I'm predicting that this ship, the Gascogne, is going to be kind of like the Florida. All it takes is one good buff. And that, I think this is the buff, right? This is the buff. The buff is main battery shell dispersion improved by 20%. It goes from European battleship dispersion to battle cruiser dispersion. So yeah. So those ships like, I guess, the Renown and the Hawk, this is going to hit like that, right? But more, this is going to be a good ship. That's my prediction. So we'll see when you got guys like Spartan and Aaron and all the other guys and Zarkun out there. I'm predicting this ship is now going to be almost overpowered if it's going to hit that accurate with these guns. Because these guns, when they do hit, they're very, very, very good. When they hit. And I'm recording this the day before the update. And I can tell you right now, my prediction is that this ship is going to be very, very good. So, yeah, we'll see. Next is the Mogami, another ship I don't have yet. The Mogami is getting a buff to the main battery guns. Reload, right? The time will be reduced from 14 to 13 seconds. Wow. But hey, I guess you cruiser mains and Japanese cruiser lovers, you guys appreciate that 1 second improvement. Yeah. Next, the Miyogi, Tier 4 premium Japanese battleship. And this will be getting a main battery reload time reduced from 30 to 22 seconds. Wow, now see, that is a buff. It goes from 30 to 22 seconds. So Miyogi is now on my list. Okay, I guess I need to get this ship and try it out with that quicker reload. It's not going to help the dispersion. I'm pretty sure it has classic Japanese dispersion, but that is a buff. That's a buff. Next, the Veribus Unitas, right? The Veribus Unitas, Tier 4 European battleship or pan-European battleship. And this is going to get main battery gun maximum range increase from 14.3 to 14.6 kilometers. Also, a main battery gun reload time reduced from 30 to 27 seconds, which is pretty nice. And HP restored by repair party increased, which is good because this thing can get slapped from time to time, right? It has that massive citadel, so yeah, this thing takes big hits, so it really needs that better repair party. It really, really does. So yeah, we'll see what that does. We'll see what that does for this ship. Will it make a difference? Probably not, right? Probably not. And last but not least, we have the Yubari, a Tier 3 Japanese cruiser. who plays tier 3, right? These are more like collectibles, right? But yeah, it's gonna get a main battery reload time reduced from 6.5 to 5.5 seconds, right? And yeah, that's it. It looks like there were no nerfs in this update. These are all buffs, right? All buffs. I just wish that they would finally, okay, buff the Navrin, right? Give the Navrin what it needs. You guys say, hey, leave it alone. Okay, I will. But some predictions for this upgrade or update. I'm predicting that the new campaign ship that we're going to have, what is that thing called? The Defense, I believe, British battle cruiser. The British battle cruiser Defense. Let's see. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, the Defense. I'm predicting that this thing is going to be extremely nasty. This is going to be a really, really good campaign ship. It's a legendary campaign ship. This is the second time we've seen a legendary campaign ship. And yeah, first one was, of course, the Brisbane last Christmas update. So the Defense, I'm predicting, is going to be very, very nasty. I'm also predicting that these Christmas ships that they're giving out, I can't remember the names of them, but they're not going to be as expensive as we think. I think the Vendetta or something like that, some kind of wild name. And then there's also a cruiser. Yeah, I don't think they're going to be that expensive. I think they're going to be kind of like how it was with the Ohio, right? You just have to play the game, and of course, it's going to take some time, but all you have to do is grind. If you grind, you will be able to land yourself those ships. I'm hoping. Because last year we thought that the Ohio was going to literally cost a liver, a kidney, and an arm and a leg, right? But it wasn't. It was, in my opinion, somewhat reasonable, right? Somewhat reasonable, and we're hoping that's what's gonna happen this year. So yeah. So that's all I got, guys. Are you guys excited for this new update? And let's see what my predictions do. Right? Let's see what happens this year. And like I said, I'm hoping to do this every update now. This would be a new thing for me. Just going over all the nerfs and buffs. So yeah. But yeah, that's all I got, guys. Good luck out there. Good luck getting those new Christmas ships. And yeah, tell me what you think. And of course, thanks for watching.
Enemy cruiser sunk.